What's up YouTube? It's Kory MacKinnon with another student highlight video here. Today we got Victoria. She's going to be showing us her triplex conversion property. So many people missed this deal. She didn't. The numbers are awesome on it. Make sure you watch the entire thing to see all the nitty-gritties, all the particulars of how she's turning this into pretty much a perfect BRRRR. I think she's going to make a perfect BRRRR out of it. What do you think, Victoria?
I think we got this.
Yeah? All right. Cool. Let's go check it out. Victoria, we're basically sitting in your triplex conversion right now. As people can see, there's studs and ripped open walls and all sorts of stuff here, building material. This is a pretty cool story, and now you're changing this into like what I feel is the highest and best use. So maybe let us know like how did you find it? You know, I guess it was sitting on the market for a little bit, and right now we're in Welland, Ontario. Yeah. So Victoria likes to invest out this way.
Yeah, so I found this deal on the MLS. It was the end of 2021, and it was, I guess, sitting on the market for 45 days or so, and I feel like it was
This market, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So for whatever reason, I feel like it had, not so ideal photos. It does back onto a main road across from a gas station, so maybe some people felt like it's not a place they want to live or invest in. But honestly, the house, when you're inside, you can't really tell that you're off a main road. It's fairly quiet, and the house actually is a lot bigger than it shows in photos. So maybe people didn't give it the chance, but we looked at it. It was a great price. We got to negotiate it down still, and yeah, it's great, and it definitely has a lot of opportunity.
Very cool. And if tell the watchers a little bit how you're going to be doing this, because at first you were thinking maybe just a duplex, but now you're more aiming towards a triplex, and there's a little trick here or hack to help avoid some development fees, or just we're not really avoiding anything, but it's like if you do things properly, it's just a.
Yeah, just the nature of how it works for whatever reason. But yeah, when we first looked at the property, we were thinking it would be a duplex. So pretty standard, ground floor would be 1 unit. In this case, ground floor and second floor would be 1 unit. And then the basement would be a second unit. But after walking through it more and thinking through the plans, we're like, wow, this ground floor is actually quite spacious, and it'd be almost oversized. It'd be an oversized 3-bedroom. So, in this market, trying to optimize for, highest and best use, thinking about if we can fit, 2 good-sized units on the upper floors and still, get fairly good rents, that'd actually be more than one, extremely large unit. And how we're going to do the triplex is actually through 2 stages. So the reason behind that is from a single family home into a duplex or adding a secondary unit, you go through a building permit process, and there are no development fees because that's considered a renovation. And then if we want to add the 3rd unit, you actually close the first permit, and then you apply for a second building permit to add a secondary unit to your duplex. And then through that process of doing 2 building permits, you actually avoid the development fees.
Love it, love it. So a little tip for everybody. Is that only in this area, or is that pretty common in different markets too?
Yeah, Welland is pretty nice in that they allow it. Not many single family zones will allow the 3 units. So that is true. It depends on the city. So yeah, you'd have to look at the zoning rules for your city. Cool.
So maybe share with the audience here just a little bit, some napkin math, like what did you buy it for? What's your rough renovation budget? And then, this is all hypothetical of what we feel the ARV is going to be, but people always love the numbers. So for those number lovers here, these are the numbers of what Victoria bought this for, what she's going to renovate it for, and hopefully what it's going to be worth after.
Sure, yeah, so we bought it for $460,000. Again, this is on the MLS. And we're thinking for renovation costs, it's going to be about $100,000 for the full renovation. It's fairly good price because right now I
know people are paying way, way more for things that they're going to try to convert into a triplex. So
yeah, exactly. The caveat to that is I'm actually acting like the GC in that way. So I'm subcontracting to the electricians, plumbing, HVAC. So what we save on money is technically sweat equity. So take that with a grain of salt. Like when people hire general contractors, their price are more because of the management, but they don't put as much time. So there is a cost to that. So yeah, we bought it for $460. We're putting $100,000 in, and we're thinking, right now a lot of investors are looking at asking for $750, but we're kind of banking on an appraisal of $700. So that pretty much would break even with our down payment and renovation costs. So all in,
a perfect BRRRR.
almost, yeah, pretty much a perfect BRRRR in a way, but there's closing costs and holding costs. So, at the end of the day, we'll have like 10, 15,000 in, let's say, but fairly good in this kind of market.
Totally, and I think by the time you're done it, like how long do you think the renovation is going to take?
We're estimating 4 months.
4 months total. There you go. So in that time, we're going to be getting into the nicer spring market. I might as well ask for $750 and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping for the best, and we always try to buffer our numbers so that we're not banking on the highest appraisal.
Well, before we get you to take us for a tour of it, Victoria, has there been anything here in the house that's been like a big surprise, or is it things are pretty much on track based on the plans and the prints and the demo and some of the rough-ins that you've been doing?
No huge surprises, but one thing that we did kind of discover a little bit, we always knew there was some galvanized piping in the basement. We could see that from the stack from downstairs, but it actually traveled quite a bit into the house. So we made the decision to gut that entirely. We wanted to do it right. So if we kind of take a tour of the house, you'll see a lot of holes, and it's a result of tracking down all the galvanized plumbing and turning it into something that is more modernized.
Cool, so we're in the entry of this triplex conversion. So Victoria, how about you show us the layout of this 3-bedroom unit house?
Sure, yeah. So we're walking into the front entry. We're gonna take a right here, and then we'll be entering the first unit. It's the ground floor unit.
Yeah, so you'll have like a fire door here and a fire door for the other unit.
Exactly, so that'll be fire rated entry, splitting the 2 units. Here we're entering into the living space. We have a nice big window that looks onto the front yard. And then...
And you guys are set a little bit further back from the road, which is nice, because one of those stigmas that maybe other people were passing by, it's actually not that loud. Like I've been in other income properties where it's a lot louder and you're like right at the sidewalk, so.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And it's a nice, good sized property, corner lot actually, so it's really nice.
All right, so you're gonna have your kitchen over here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we're putting a brand new kitchen, dishwasher, sink. We have the contractor, you can see the notes that they kind of remind themselves where things are going. It helps with the
dishwasher, stove, that's always an easy one, just look for the big outlet.
Yeah, exactly.
So venting it out through the ceiling.
Yep.
Keeping these textured ceilings, which it's a rental. It's I actually like it. I just like the workmanship that used to go into this kind of work back in the day. You can't rarely even find people that can do that kind of work these days. So tell us what you did in the bathroom here, Victoria, because this is really good how this turned in from a powder room into, now you're getting into like a full bathroom with like stackable laundry.
This right here used to just be a 2-piece. So you see the toilet rough-in and then the vanity. And then because we're closing this off into a 1-bedroom apartment, we need to add a shower, a bathtub. So we actually blew out the linen closet here. And then this is part of the bedroom closet. And then we're adding a stack laundry here that will vent out to the outside. And then we'll have the bathroom, bathtub and shower that will be tiled in eventually.
Yeah, and if people lose a little bit of closet space, they can always just go and get like an armoire or more rolling racks, whatever, right? I think I'd much prefer having in-suite laundry versus like a closet.
Yeah, totally.
Right on. Bedroom over here, it's pretty basic stuff here in the bedroom, but good sized bedroom. Yeah, we got really important here. So we have a panel. So when you're doing these conversions, you need to make sure that every unit has their own panel, their own hydro panel, if you are splitting hydro, and they all have to have access to that panel. Super important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can see a bit of the holes that the electrician punched out on the ceiling because they're basically rewiring a lot of this.
And they're also trying to pull out that old galvanizer, fish new Wisboro water lines. Mm-hmm. Very cool. So let's go show us this 2-bedroom loft unit.
Yeah. All right, so we're back at the front entry here. So we take a left and then we enter into the living space here. And then again, we can see the kind of sub-meter panel that we're placing, and
Yeah, it's expensive wire. All right, so kitchen, you're gonna try to salvage some of this kitchen here from what you were mentioning, right?
yeah.
I mean, these old like plywood cabinets kind of stand the test of time. You could paint them, resurface them, new countertop.
Totally, yeah. So that's the plan. We'll try to salvage as much as we can. And then we're actually right here going to close off the back entry eventually and put in a stack laundry.
That second stage that you talked about, right?
Yes,
So,
exactly.
awesome. Yeah, you've already repped in for that. Cool. 2 really good sized bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs. Let's go check it out. All right, so really good sized bathroom for a rental unit. And then I don't think there's really much work to do in there. You're just gonna refresh it.
Yep, exactly. So that's the plan for upstairs right here. We'll just do a refresh, paint, a bunch of cleanup, but that's pretty much it.
What are you doing for flooring? Are you gonna be trying to salvage this flooring or?
Yeah, I think we'll salvage this floor. It's pretty good for the most part. And yeah, just refresh with the paint and then, yeah, it's pretty much good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, being up on the 2nd floor, I guess we'll see how hot it gets in the summertime, but they can always put a window shaker air conditioner. Or do you guys have AC here?
It's all forced air, so there is a AC that's connected to that system, but we do need a plan to upgrade that eventually.
There you go. Cool. So, and then for this unit, you're thinking 2 bedrooms. I think you're saying like $1,600.
Yeah, like 1,600 like would be pretty competitive right now. It could probably even push to 1,700 the way that the market is going.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Very cool. Well, let's go check out this basement apartment next. All right, so this is going to get closed off. You're going to put your stacker laundry in here.
Yep.
But for now, yeah, because they can come in through the back. You got a lot of parking here, which is good. That's one of the things I always look for in a rental property. Can all 3 units get a parking spot, which you got 2 up front plus a driveway. As long as they don't block each other in, you're good to go there. And we head down in the basement here. I'm surprised so many people overlook this. I mean, it's got high ceilings.
And it already had a bathroom and a kitchen. You know, it wasn't the greatest shape, but when I look at a property, at least it has the rough-ins, and that saves a lot of money. So I always look at that.
Big time. So what do you feel the layout's going to be like down here, Victoria?
So we're going to have, bathrooms already existing. We're going to keep that as is. We have the kitchen here. We're going to add a window because, you know, to make it a legal unit, we need to have the natural daylight through the windows. They're not a ton.
Look at this beautiful window here. It's already been penciled in. Perfect.
Yeah, so kitchen, and then we'll have a secondary bedroom that'll be framed out here. And you can see a bit of the markings on the wall where we've been considering putting the windows.
It's a good sized bedroom.
Yeah. And then we'll have a living
there.
space. Yeah.
So how do your contractors get a window in here? They're gonna have to get their cement saws going.
Exactly, yeah.
It's gotta be big enough for egress and everything, which is very, very important.
Yeah, so we'll be finding a contractor that does excavations. So they'll be cutting the concrete, they'll be excavating for the window well, and then they'll also be helping us upgrade the water service for the property as well.
Okay, good. Cool, and then the last bedroom's in here. We got the good sized bedroom here. I think there's even a closet. Is there a closet? Yep, already a closet in there. And tell us a bit about the mechanical room and what the city will and won't let you do there.
Oh yeah, so right here we have the stack laundry that we'll be putting here. And we're actually separating the mechanical room from the laundry. Actually in Welland, they don't like the laundry being inside the mechanical room. Part of that's because of fire separation. They don't want the mechanical room to be accessed really for livable units and space. So because of that, we're gonna block that off separately. And then the mechanical room here, we put in a new furnace, new hot water tank. It was 80 gallons to service the 3 units. So probably over the top, but
they will never ever run out of hot water there for sure. What was the new furnace? How much did that run?
New furnace is about 4,000, I think, with the supply and install.
You know, and this is, it doesn't look pretty right now. Like, are you pretty used to getting in and out of like dirty, beat up properties that are gonna look amazing once they're done, but what's your evolution been like a little bit as far as an investor, like having to have that vision of seeing what things would look like? You got to look past all the grime and the grit and what other people have maybe left behind. It's definitely like a skill that needs to be acquired as a real estate investor.
Yeah, for sure. I guess like the beginning of my investment journey, I did buy and holds. But you know, when I got into more serious real estate investing, I actually would find myself attracted to the bigger fixer-uppers, and part of that is because, you know, I'm an architect and I really love doing renovations, and I really can see the vision for that. So I just find it a lot of fun personally, seeing that transformation. But definitely whenever I show family and friends, they think I'm crazy. They think like I have a weird sense of what I enjoy and find fun. So I think it's not for everyone, but I personally enjoy it.
Well, for people that are watching this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you think that real estate investors are different. We're definitely a different breed here, guys. So you got to be able to enjoy this sort of thing. And I like to build assets myself too, personally. So you know, it's not for everybody. It's not meant for everybody. That's why there's a lot of average people out there. So, well, Victoria, I think you definitely, you know, picked up a diamond in the rough here. So congratulations on this triplex conversion. So many people overlooked it. And again, as real estate investors, that's why you got to be turning over every single rock. You can't just rely on a listing that doesn't have great pictures or doesn't have a great description. I mean, do a drive-by, calculate the square footage of the home from the sidewalk and see what you could do with it, what's possible. Because how many square feet is this house, do you know? Main floor?
It's about 1,000 square feet on the main floor. So
you're able to, you know, take part of it for a 1-bedroom apartment. The other part of it's going to be going upstairs for a nice big 2-bedroom, and the basement. What do you think you're going to get for the basement?
Could be 1,200 to 1,400 because it's 2 good-sized bedrooms still. So
yes. And for main floor 1-bedroom, you're probably looking pretty close to the same. So
yeah, pretty much 1,400 as well.
Yeah. So what would if you did get that 700, 750 refi, not when you get it, but you're going to get it. What's your cash flow going to be like on this property?
It's looking around 1,000 or 1,000 plus. So it's going to be pretty good cash flow, and you know, I'll be partnering with a JV on this. So you know, even between the two of us, we'll have like $500 each.
Right on. Cool, guys. Well, if you want to find out more about these types of properties, make sure you're staying tuned to the channel. Until the next one drops, be amazing friends. Go get those assets.